So in my last video, I did this thrift lift haul, which showed multitudes of DIYs all at once, so I couldn't go more in depth with the two-piece that I created that I'm wearing right now. For this video, that is what we're exactly gonna do. We're gonna show how to make this O-ring halter top. So in my garage, I found this very vibrant and colorful men's button-down t-shirt that was just perfect for the picking. It was perfect to top up and create another halter top with this one. And the pattern and vibrant colors also reminds me of Euphoria, so that is definitely why I decided to choose this t-shirt to make a halter top with. So let's just jump right into it. Alright, so starting off, I'm just cutting a chunk of fabric so that's all that shirt is good for. I didn't measure it, I just chopped away, which coincidentally made a cropped button top, which we'll get that to in a bit. Once the amputation is complete, keep in mind the fabric I cut is double layered, so it's gonna be extra long. The measures of the piece of fabric I'll be working with is 47 inches in length and 15 inches in width. I'm focusing on the band of the halter top right now, and that came to be about 28 inches, but I'm gonna add an extra inch for seam allowance. As for the width of the band, I'm making it 4 inches, so I just pinned 4 inches across the fabric and stopped right around 29 inches. And now we cut ourselves a very long rectangle. I ended up making my rectangle about 30 inches just for extra security, and now I'm cutting the strip in half, so about 15 inches in. And now we pin and sew along the seams of both rectangles. The bottom of the rectangle has already been seamed thanks to the button-down shirt, so I don't need to do the bottom. I find it best to sew on the very edge of the folded seams to make sure none of it will unfold and come undone. Once finished with sewing our rectangles, it should look like this. Let's put it aside for now and focus on making the cups of the halter top. I'm starting with cutting another section for the fabric from earlier like so. Now I'm folding in half to cut it into 2 sections. I'll be folding in half yet again so our cups can be double layered and not see-through. Alright, so the bottom of the cups is about 8 inches and the very top of the cups will be about 3.5 inches. Then we just connect both dots with pins. I find it easy to just slant the ruler or measuring tape while touching both points, then just pinning along the line created. If you want exact measurements, then the length is about 12 inches and the middle is 6 inches, and we could see as we progressively move up, it goes from 5 inches to 4 inches and eventually 3 inches at the end. Now we sew along the pin sides to create a thick triangle like so. I use a straight stitch for this since my fabric is not stretchy at all, but if you're working with stretchy fabric, then definitely a zigzag stitch will be really good. Also, I made those triangles extra thick because I want as much coverage as possible for the cup part to extra prevent any accidents. Oh, also make sure to backstitch once done. Now that you got your side stitch, we cut off the excess fabric. This part is super satisfying for me because the shape is finally coming together. Once you've chopped both squares, let's flip the fabric inside out. I love this part, and smacking it aggressively onto the floor really gives it a good shape. Now we just sew the ends of the triangle, and I folded it a tiny bit, then pinned it flat for the sewing machine. Once finished, it looked like this. Now we bring all the pieces together. Grabbing the band, I place at the very bottom of the cup and pin them together. Both sets should look like this, and make sure to leave about 1.5 inches on the edges because we need that for the ring. Once the sewing is finished, here is how it looks like. Now we can focus on installing the ring. I'm going to link down below where I got the golden ring, also the silver ring that was on my black velvet halter top from earlier. Taking the edges, I tucked it into the ring like so, and we just pin it in place like so. Here's the back view on how to do it. I start off by grabbing the upper corner and pin that in place towards the center of the strip of the fabric. Then I grab the bottom corner and did the same. Finally, I get the remaining middle fabric and tuck it around the ring last. It's important to sew as close to the ring as possible to really secure it in place and to prevent it from shifting around. I'm hand sewing it since it gives me the most control, and I'm not doing any sewing with techniques in particular. I'm just sporadically placing the needle wherever. My main priority is making sure the ring is secure and the thread won't come undone. And here is my award-winning hand sewing. Not the best, but it is honest work. I'm now going to sew the very top of the cups, and all I did was fold it in a bit and sew a straight line across to both cups. This is so we can feed the strap through both of them. For the straps, I just got the remaining scrap of fabric and pinned it along the edge to sew together. Then I got the individual straps and attached them next to one another to create a long continuous strap and fed it through the top of the cups. I made another strap and cut it into 8 pieces, each piece being about 1.5 inches long. I folded each piece in half and sewed it onto the very edge of the band of the halter top. I hand sewed this part as well, and it was a little tough to put the needle through, so I used this yellow ring as a hard surface. I sewed it until I felt like it was very secure and added 3 more nubs. So for each side of the band, there was 4 nubs in total. Now for my final act, we are making straps one last time. The fabric is about 2 inches in width, and for all of my straps, I always do the sandwich method to create a clean seam. To do that, I fold the edge first, then the top, then the bottom, and then get the 2 folded pieces and sandwich them together to pin in place. Always sew it at the very edge as well to prevent any unraveling like so. Now we got our straps. Mine was 32 inches long. I just grabbed the straps and laced them together on the back of the halter top like you would with shoelaces. And this is the final product. I absolutely love how the back turned out, and the best part is there's no buttons or zippers required. But my favorite part is the front, of course. I definitely favor gold jewelry the most. That's why I wanted to use a gold ring. And I think it complemented the vibrant colors of the halter top pretty good, if I do say so myself. Also, that crop button down from earlier, I accidentally was able to make into matching sets with the halter top. Just in case the day gets colder later on, or you want to be a bit more covered by the godforsaken mosquitoes, then this jacket really comes in handy. I've worn this set out once and got a lot of compliments, which doesn't help my big head and my big ass forehead. But seriously though, this is one of my favorite tops, and the vibrancy of the colors can be seen a mile away. I shall name her Anastasia or Fantasia, something mystical sounding. Now enough of me blabbling, here's some more blabbling, but in my human form, not my voiceover form. I just wanted to chime back on in and say thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this very helpful and that you create a top of your own so we can match. And I'll see you in my next video. Whoa!